That's silly. Shit, I didn't see that there. No, fuck. No, damn. I didn't see that at all. Fuck. And then they end up going backwards, and then they sort of launch themselves higher off it. So that will be a trick I'll be abusing, which is quite cool. This, you will recognize from the intro. This is the best music in the game by far. I'll just stay silent for a minute and let it play, because I love it so much. That music is just so good to me. I noticed that the quality wasn't too great, so what I'll do is I'll end up looking back on the recording, and I'll be looking to see if I need to edit out and put in like a really nice version of the music, because I love it so much and I want you guys to hear it as well. Shit, can't do that. But yeah, I love that music so much, it's just so good. Can you get it? Nice, you got it. So you see how like random stuff appears. Now, why did I do that? It makes something pop up here. I think it's a cage, if I remember rightly. Like it's over here. I remember a cage popping up from that. Damn, that is laggy audio, man. I might have to... I think what I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably end up... take away from the game sounds, though. I don't know what to do about that, actually. How much of my CPU is in use? I'm only using 20% of it, so there's no way that it's just my system not being powerful enough. Because I have 80% of my CPU available. I don't know what's up there. I'm debating putting in a extra audio layer, deleting the game audio, keeping my audio, and then just playing the music over the background. But I don't know. Depends on how bad it gets. Right, if I remember rightly, you do this. So cloud. Excellent, there we go. But yeah, I love that music so much. You'll recognize it from the intro. It's just the best music in the game, by far. I think everyone agrees more or less, but this game has incredible music. Like, we've not even gotten to the good music yet. I mean, we've gotten this music, sure, which is good. But, if I remember rightly, something spawns. Come on, Rayman. Then you go through here. There we go. And then back up here. Ah, yes, there we go. Got it. Nice. Oh, I could have shown off the life punch thing, actually, there. Damn. Oh, I'll show it off later. Damn. Those green bastards are annoying. They will annoy you. They are hard to deal with. Best way to do it is to stand like at this sort of distance, punch, and just crouch. But the first time you play this, you won't understand that, and it can be really frustrating to work out. But I don't mind that. Like, it's one of those things where I'm not a fan of puzzle solving in games, right? But in a game like this, it makes sense to have enemies that you have to like try and solve your way around, because it's a game which can be over very quickly. Like, discounting all the deaths from trying to, like, you know, execute the hard to execute stuff. For example, this platforming is not as easy as it looks. It's not hard, but it's not as easy as it looks, right? It looks pathetically easy, but it's just not. And there will be a lot of deaths just to what seem like silly things, but they're just not silly. Damn, fuck you. Bitch. Like, for example, that jump is actually really hard to make. You'd be surprised. Can I hang? Nope. How do you get that? Oh, I remember. You jump over this. Yeah, that's it. And that spawns a cloud. So there's a lot of arbitrary little stuff like that. But yeah, there are a lot of deaths to what look like silly stuff, but it's just hard platforming. Like this game, it's... How do I put it? It's hard but fair. Like, you know, I've already said it. It's hard but fair. There is a little glitch you can do where you can sort of lodge yourself on a ceiling with this, like on something above your head, and then you can just get teleported right to the top of the level. Now, I'm not going to do that because I don't know how to, and I don't want to do that, right? I don't want to cheese the game. I just want to show you as much of the game as I can in this little run here because it's just so incredible. Nice, I got it. That's really hard to do. Where are we? There's something in the bottom of here. I can't remember what. I think it's just a cage. Ouch. Yeah. I just love there's lots of these like little hidden, like, not even puzzles, like just trials. Like I like to know like what to do in a game. And I forgive the... Damn. There we go. I forgive the arbitrary hiding of things in, like, you know, hiding the triggers to make certain things appear in seemingly random spots because of the time this game was made. Like, you always need to consider, like, the time of development and this sort of stuff. Like, for example, I could easily say Super Mario 1 is shit. And I would be right in a sense of technologically unadvanced. But, oh, it's this way. There we go. Damn. That is hard. That is super, super hard. I might... Don't kill me, little... Got him. But, if you consider the time of development, which is the same sort of time as this, I think it was actually even earlier. Like, Super Mario is old. It was an incredible game. It was simple, but they introduced things like shells and whatnot to add an interesting spin on what would otherwise be mundane platforming, and that makes it a good game. Because at the time of development, like for example, right, you could look at 1995 and say, hey, why isn't this in 3D? Why doesn't it have super incredible graphics? But that would be stupid because it was made in 1995. I'm going off on a bit of a tangent here. I don't know, like, it's just game design in general that interests me. Like, this game is so well designed. Damn. Like, look, how creative is this, right? Like, they made this area, right? They made this art, and they said, hey, we want an enemy. What can we do? How do we make this animated? How do we fit this with the theme of making everything alive in this game? So they said, hey, let's just have eyeballs. Okay, cool. What do we do with those eyeballs? Okay, let's make them shoot lightning. That's ridiculous. That's fine. Does it make the game entertaining? Yes. Sick. And that's... Like, that's... oh, that doesn't insta-kill you. Some of those, fuck. Some of those spikes do insta-kill you when you land on them. I don't think it's in this area, though. Ah, damn. Your hand doesn't have a hitbox when you're hanging, so that's why I didn't get hit there. Fuck. This is hard. Nice health. Cool. But yeah, I just love the way they like made things alive in this game, right? They didn't care if it made sense or not. First time you go through this area, you'll run back and forth for ages, unable to get through. You just walk in a straight line. Now, something that other people have said, like on the HDQ video, which is Awesome Games Done Quick, by the way, for those who don't know, they just destroy games that you would think couldn't be destroyed and beat them in no time at all. It's incredible. They said it was funny how the game isn't really... Like, they said it was funny how... Shit. I was also piloting. They said it was funny how the game is... Like, a lot of people think the game isn't really a speed run until you get the run ability. You do get the ability to run. Like, you'll see I'm walking. That's just because I don't have run yet. But they also said it was funny how, like, there's a lot of tech that goes with making the game go really quick, because it does look like a game in which you have like a sort of set speed you can go at, right? Like, you would think it would just be as simple as going through the game, platforming, and not, damn it, and not dying, unlike what I'm doing here. And it's not. There's a lot of cool tricks you can do, which probably unintended on the whole. Fuck off. Damn. If I wasn't talking, I'd be on the next world by now, I reckon. I wouldn't have these silly deaths. I've genuinely had like 25 lives before and stuff like that. But talking at the same time is hard. But there are a lot of cool tricks you can do. And I thought it was funny how they said that, like, you know, Rayman like has a little strut. It doesn't quite walk, but it doesn't quite run. I just think it's power walking, you know? Gotta have that little power walk going. Fuck off, damn. Fuck. Alright, on that area, I'm just not going to talk because I've died a couple of times there. And I need my lives for the rest of the game, because if I'm going to keep dying whilst talking like this, then I need to step up my act. I like how they're not afraid to just not have music playing either, right? Like, you know, a lot of games will just have an area just suddenly go, like, silent when they want to, like, you know, create a certain atmosphere. But I like how this game just uses sound to make an atmosphere, right? Like, they will just have, like, you know, bugs making noises in the background or whatever, and I just think that's super, super cool. Right, focus. I apologize for the slight audio lags and stuff. I have no idea what's causing it. I wouldn't know what the fix would be. Like, it can't possibly be my CPU because I'm only using 20% of it. It's bonkers. How is it going wrong? Oh well. I don't think it's that big a deal. Man, I love this game. It's a long game in the sense that there's a lot to do. It's just that you can do it very quickly. Like, I'm actually going through the game at a solid pace. I don't know how long it usually takes me to get through because I haven't timed that, but I forgot. Damn it. There's an area with spikes which you can just stand still and they don't hit you. It's not that area. But I remember it taking like 5 or 6 hours to get through the whole thing. I don't think this will end up being 5 or 6 hours, and if it does, I'll just separate it into parts. But that kind of depends on how many deaths I take and whatnot. You dickhead! The movement threw off my punch, so I misjudged it. That's my fault. But you see, I've not died once to something that's not my fault. It's just great. It's just like, you know, I love it. It's just like, hey, I should have punched better. Or I should have jumped over him. Or done any number of things differently other than exactly what I did. That guy will kill you 1 billion times. Like, you play in this game, he will kill you. Like, there's just no two ways about it. Again, this game is brutal. Oh, you don't need that. Those things, as we've seen, do change the size of you. That is important. That's how you get certain cages and get through certain areas of the level and whatnot. Man, I want the other music back. Yeah, this is the area in which you can just stand and the spikes shouldn't get you, but I'm now paranoid, so I'm going to try and dodge them anyway. But, like, just look how everything has eyes, man. Like, it just makes it so alive. Like, this game is just so alive. Like, having stationary enemies, or stationary... They're not even enemies, really. They're just... Right. Yeah, this is it. Cool. Just by having stationary problems, stationary barricades, and giving them eyes... I mean, the spike's above me right now. They have eyes. Man, that audio lag. They have eyes, and that makes this level feel 10 times more alive than it otherwise would be. Like, look at the background. Look at that. Like, it's just so cool. And although it doesn't make any sense, like... Oh, damn. Can I kill you? Damn. It doesn't make any sense that, like, there's these random-ass platforms up here that we're jumping on. But it just looks cool. It just adds so much to the background, and, I don't know, like, I'm sure I'm just being a fanboy here, but God, I love this so much. Ding. So I would show off how to, like, get this game on an emulation and whatnot, but I'm not into the pirating side of things. Like, I did it because I own the game, right? In case those of you don't know. Whoops. In case you don't know, if you own a game, you can then quote-unquote pirate it legally, right? So when you buy a game, you pay for the rights to play it. You don't pay for the disc or anything. They just give you a disc to make life simple, right? Like, they give you a disc to make life easy for everyone. Shit. Man. If I get too low on lives, I might have to, like, save state or some shit. Like, I'm dying because I'm talking at the same time. I'm not putting in all the focus I normally would. God damn it! I need to focus, man. Come on. But yeah, you pay for the rights to play a game. So they give you a copy of it to make life simple so they don't have to, like, you know, piss around with it or anything. But if I buy a game on Xbox and then buy it on PS3, I can, and then I, like, pirate it for a PS3 or something, like, pretend you can do that. I don't know if you actually can. That's legal because I've paid for the rights to play the game. So I would show you how to do this, but people would abuse it for piracy purposes, and I'm not into that. So, yeah, I do apologize. But if you really want to do it, you can find it out yourself. But I'm not going to advocate pirating. Aren't I a good guy? I can't make that jump. You need run to make that jump, I think. There's probably a way. Like, if I can't recall if the speedrunners did it precisely, but yeah, you can't really make that jump. I don't know if you have to. I think this, like, just takes you to a cage, right? No. Well, that's silly. Shit, I didn't see that there. No, fuck. No, damn. I didn't see that at all. Fuck. How do I get past this now? Have I, like, basically... Damn, I basically soft-locked myself there. God damn it, I lost so many lives to this area. But this is the game, right? Like, this looks silly to die to, and admittedly it is a little bit, and that's just because I'm not focusing 100%. But... God. Okay, let's just do this. Okay. I don't know how you're meant to get past there if you mess up like that. Oh shit, I didn't see that. Cool. Okay, I got past it. See, it's not that hard if I focus. Damn. Getting hit by off-screen bullshit there. Whoops. Man, I love how they just put eyes on things. That's just great to me. There's nothing up here, is there? No, that doesn't spawn anything. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of this, right? Like, just let me know what you think of this for considering what it is. Now, I know I'm not bringing it to you in the best quality, and that's just 'cause capture cards and whatnot are expensive. But I think it's still watchable. Like, I personally don't mind graphics in games that much. Like, I'll happily play something on bullcrap, terrible graphics if it's a fun game. But that's who I am. But then people who aren't looking at that, like people who don't have that sort of mindset won't be looking this up anyway, I suppose, so, whoops. There we go. There's a little cage somewhere in this level. It's not here, I can't remember exactly where it is, which you can make without run when you're supposed to have run, and it's how the speedrunners like save a chunk of time, because they stop revisits for a lot of levels by abusing tricks to... Oh, fuck. I did that way too late. To get cages. Fuck, I'm not focusing. Man, you can tell, but it's just because I'm just talking at the same time. I don't have my 100% in this game right now. But they use tricks to get cages that they otherwise wouldn't or shouldn't get to cut down time from the game. The world record is 1 hour, 19 minutes, and 31 seconds. Shit, need to get more momentum for that. Balls. Balls, cunt, fuck. I need to stay quiet for that area. That will happen a lot. I'm actually half tempted to reload my save there. God, I pressed down. I have the tiniest bit of input lag. I've got basically none, but it is like, you know, 0.1 seconds or something. Now, that's not an excuse, right? Like, this is... Wow. I accidentally did the speedrun trick. I was crouched there. I was crouched. Can't believe I did the speedrun trick. God. But yeah, that's not an excuse on my part. Like, you can make do of 0.1 seconds input lag. Like, that is not a bad thing for a game like this. There are some areas where you need to be quick, but you get far more than 0.1 seconds to react to stuff. So, damn, I was holding down there. This lag probably doesn't help. God, look at that. Oh, this is the jump. Yeah, you saw a little platform up there. I don't know if I can show it off exactly. Can I? Yeah, you see that platform there? You can make that jump without run. I'm not gonna, just because it'll take a lot of time and yada yada. But yeah, 0.1 seconds input lag is not bad enough to kill me the way it has been. So that's not an excuse. My excuse is just from talking at the same time. Oh, I love this area so much. Now, this area will piss you off if you're playing for the first time. So what you have is you have these little trumpet guys, right? And they just push you back and forth with speed that you normally can't achieve. And your job is to jump on these platforms to get to the top. Damn. You can't get that hang. If you get that hang, it just doesn't work. God. My whistling is terrible. This is really hard. God. Damn! So close. Damn. What makes it hard is that there's not a consistent time to jump, right? It changes with each platform and the length of it. Like, you've got to jump earlier and a bit later and stuff like that. And it just gets harder and harder as the platforms get smaller and smaller. But this area will frustrate the shit out of you. I actually find it a lot of fun, so I really don't mind it. I think it's such a cool idea. Like, they want to introduce a new kind of platforming, right? Like, clearly what happened here is the developer said, hey, we want to make the platforming different. We want to add some spice to it. How can we do that? Let's make the player go faster than they normally would. Huh, how can we abuse that? Here, this is how. Boom. Such cool design, man. Like, the thing is, right, there's an expression, and I think it's stupid in general because it's obvious, right? It's obvious what it does, like what it's supposed to mean, but there we go, I got to show off the pull there. But that expression is limitation breeds creativity. Now, in most contexts, I think that's a stupid thing to say, because obviously you have to get creative because of your limitation now. But when it comes to games, I feel like the results of that is what makes it interesting. Oh, yeah, you need 2 hits for that. Oh wow, that lag. I had huge lag for a second there. Again, I do apologise, but I don't think you guys will mind too much. And the ones who do will just turn off the video. What can I do? I just love the creativity. Whoops. So if I remember rightly, you jump on this, make something pop up over here. Yep, there we go. It's a cloud? Where does that lead? Don't remember this. Been a while. It's probably been about a year since I last played this game properly. So you combine that with the fact that I'm talking at the same time, and I'm playing pretty well considering. Again, this game is hard. Just is. Nice. These are checkpoints in case you didn't work it out yet. I don't think I've died and had to come back to one of these yet. Start at the beginning of the level every time I died, pretty much. This bit is hard. Do I go for that? Yeah. I'm here to show off as much of the game as I reasonably can right now, so let's just show that off. God, I love this. It's so cool. It's just a cool way to reuse these sprites, right? It's like, hey, it's familiar and recognizable, but it's just different now. I think it's just cool. Right, this area is super hard. Oh, that lag. No, that lag killed me. Not to make excuses. I mean, I guess I am, right? But that lag did kill me there, because it took away from my input of going right there. But that's fine, I don't mind too much. Like, if I die too much to lag, like little lag spikes that I get, I'll just like do save states to make up for it. There is a little P power-up down there, which you would have saw if you were eagle-eyed. That is a bit silly, because there's a certain way to get to it. The first time, you will think that you can just jump towards it and you will die because there's nothing below it and you will not trigger the trigger designed to make that go off. Oh, ooh, oh, I forgot about that. Damn. Damn. I thought that you were meant to make that jump, but I forgot that you don't actually make that jump. The clouds save you, makes you think that you're going to die, which is really cool. I like that. Okay, I got it. That is so hard. That platforming is so hard. There we go. Okay, cool. Right. Cool, Kyle. Execute. And jump. Clouds? No, okay, I made it. Right, this is hard. So hanging does help. Nice. These guys are so cool. Like, just look at that. How is that not cool design? That's so cool design. Right, so there is a way to trigger this signpost that's meant to be up here quickly. It involves like jumping out, but shit. Oh my god, that was so lucky. Oh my god, that was beyond lucky. But yeah, there's a trick where you jump out like on the platform below where Rayman is currently. You jump out towards where that cloud is, and then you go back. And I don't know how oddly specific the trick is, but there is a way to do it. I don't know how much like room for error you get, but it does skip out a bit of the platforming, which is kind of cool. He turns around in a second. There he is. There we go. Something I thought that was cool that they did with this was if you put this game into a CD player, it will play the soundtrack of the game. How many games do you know that have done that in history? I'm willing to bet not many. I thought that was just so cool that they put that in, man. So this is a part of the game which you won't see. Oh. Damn. That you won't see in a speedrun, and that's because you can just skip it, I think. No, wait. Is this bit you skip? No, it's not this bit you skip. Is it? I can't remember. Alright, I've lost my way. I don't know the way. Damn, I've forgotten where to go. Oh well. If you're in a left to right platformer, if in doubt, just go right. I think it's this way. Yeah. Yeah? No? Yes, no? Yeah, this has to be the way. Basically, whenever you get those blue tings, you know you're roughly on the right track. I love the boss fights in this game. Like, the boss fights are just so cool. Like, it's such a simplistic engine with such simplistic controls with a few tricks you can do, which I have no idea whether or not they were intended by the developers. There we go. But they made the bosses so cool despite these limitations. And I'll show you. We're going up against Mr. Sax soon. And I think you'll see him very shortly. And he's just such a cool idea. By the way, these little spike dudes that are on these little lines, those are music notes. And a lot of you just gone, oh yeah, they are. Which it's just so cool, man. Like, just give music notes of eyes, and that's an enemy. There's Mr. Sax. Pop. So you do actually see this part of the game. I remember that now. There's a certain area which I'm going to go to, which you will not see in a speedrun. And, oh, we unlock run here, is it? I think it is run. No, it's helicopter hair. Okay, so this is where the platforming gets to be so fun. Because with this helicopter hair, they introduce so much more interesting, difficult platforming. And it makes the game 10 times better. So that is all the hover time you get, right? I'm not cancelling that early. That is all the hover time you get. But that 1 or 2 seconds of hovering changes the game. Like, it makes it 10 times more fun and 10 times more engaging. It's so cool. So in a speedrun, do they do? I think they do gong heights, but I don't think they do the boss. I think they go backwards because there's these little signs where if you touch them, you go back out the level. Right? It's fairly self-explanatory, and they abuse that somewhere to not do the Mr. Sax boss. But yeah, this is one of those difficulty spikes I talked about earlier, right? This is where their game gets that lag, man. Jesus. I have no idea what's causing that. See, it's fine now. My CPU is not in that much use, I don't get it. But this is one of those difficulty spikes I talked about where it goes to the next level. And it's a significant difficulty jump. By the way, I want you to look at these monks that are floating here. Look at their eyes. They use the drums to put eyes on them. I just think that's so funny. That's just such a cool addition to the game, man. It's just such a cool little thing, little Easter egg almost. But yeah, you'll see how the helicopter hair comes into play. It's one of the best power-ups in the game. It's so much fun to play with. It's probably my favorite. Nice. So what you can do is you can just use it to correct yourself there. It makes platforming easier, but they introduce harder platforming to accommodate, so you're forced to use this new power-up. And I'm fully aware that I just sound like a fanboy that's looking far too much into the design of this game, but god damn it, I fucking love it. There we go. Man, that's so cool. So the way this works is whichever ball you're stood on is where it will expand you out to. So if I stand on this ball over here, I'll get expanded out to the left. So that's how you abuse the way to get to this next little jump here, which is quite a big jump. I know I didn't imitate that noise very well. Oh, man. You know, I think a lot of the stuff that makes this game as engaging as it is just putting eyes on things. Just gives the game life. There you go. See, I was able to use the helicopter hair there to guarantee that I land on that. 'Cause, like, it's hard to tell when he's gonna, like, you know, do his little thing. Oh, that was so close. That is a hard bit of platforming, and you will die there. Unless you get absurdly lucky, you will die there. There is no two ways about it. Is this in the auto-scroller? Yes. So there are auto-scrolling sections in this game. There. Speaking too fast, man. Good there. There are auto-scrolling sections in this game. I like them. A lot of people don't. But I think they present a great challenge. This area is hard. It does not look it. And I'm going to make it look easy. But fuck me, is it hard. The back of the screen just kills you, I believe. I can't remember. It's been a while since I died that way, but if I remember rightly, it just kills you. Like, just bam, you're dead now. Nice, okay. Whew. You see how the helicopter hair just, like, that just momentary levitation just changes everything, man. God, that music. Man, that's so cool. Tell me that music's not sick. Ooh, saved by the helicopter hair. Shit. It's a way to spawn something if I remember rightly. No? Okay. Guess I remember wrong. Right, I'm gonna save here. So if I die too many times, I'll just reload. Like, I'm comfortable, like, going through with, like, 5 lives, but I don't want to get to, like, Mr. Scott's cave or some shit with, like, 2 lives and have to, like, restart 20 times. I'd rather, like, restart once or twice. Because, again, I am pretty good at this game, and it's not overly hard to me. It's just, when I'm talking at the same time, it makes life hard. God, this music. There we go, got it. God, that music's so cool. Look at the background. Just look at the background and tell me that isn't thematically awesome. There's a way to clip into this cage, if I remember rightly. Saw it in the speedrun. I might try it. Nah, I can't do it. I don't know what it is. Maybe you can't do it. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up with something else. There's a cage down there. Not going to get it. Itchy nose. Oh, wait, I am going to get it. Never mind. If it's right there, I'll take it. As we lag once again. You know, normally when I lag like that, it's on my end. And I'm sure there's something I'm doing wrong, but it's not an encoding overload from my recorder, so I don't know what's up, but it's not too bad. That noise. Oh. Just look at the background, listen to the music, look at the enemies, listen to the noises the game makes. Tell me it's not just super cool. Like, they just do so much with so little, man, and I'm sorry to go on and on about it, but Jesus, so cool. How difficult would I rate this game on a rating of 1 to 10? Well, I've not played Candy Chateau, so I can't fairly say in regard with that bit of the game in mind, but it looks fucking ridiculous. So it's one of those where I'm actually going to save state the start of it, I think. Just to save lives and whatnot, because what you could do, obviously, is if you die in the first area, you could just restart the game, right? But that just takes time, so it'd just be a time skip rather than an actual difficulty breaker. But I would say this game is like 10 being literally impossible, like you would have to TAS it to beat it, and 1 being you could just hold one button and do it. I'd say it's probably a solid 7 or 8. Like, I think that's fair. Like, I'm talking 100%ing it. Just because Candy Chateau does look bonkers. Like, Candy Chateau's little gimmick is you face the final boss, right, whom is Mr. Dark. And rather than facing him directly, you, he gives curses to you, right? And I actually only learned they were proper curses. This is a little trap. You don't need this. It just baits you into thinking you do and trying to clear the platforms without it, which was quite a funny dick move, actually. He puts curses on you. The first one is there's Dark Rayman, whom lags about a second or 2 behind you, and he will... Shit. Okay, doesn't insta-kill, thank fuck. He will lag a second or 2 behind you, and he will mimic exactly what you do. Like, it doesn't matter what you do, he's going to mimic it. If you glitch out the game to get to the other end of the level, he's going to do that as well. So you're a second ahead, and if he touches you, you instantly die. So I've been told. All the people I've watched do it don't die on it, so it's evidently people who like practiced it a lot. It is not an easy level. Like, I can tell you that much. Shit. I can tell you, like, I can't tell you if it's the hardest level in the game for sure, but it looks it. There we go. Just focusing, so I don't want to die unnecessarily here. There we go. But it looks really hard, so I'm going to say, based on that, it's probably about a 7. Right, so... That's one of the tricks the speedrunners use. Like, they do that to launch themselves over. Otherwise, it's like a tight, frame-perfect jump or something, which is just ridiculous. Ah. This area is really hard, but I like doing it. Damn. But yeah, if you don't know that speedrunning trick, then it is like just a bunch of like tight, frame-perfect jumps. Oh, it doesn't work that way. If you clip into a wall or something, it won't actually swing you up because it'll break your swing. So you can't do that. So I might just need to. Nice, I got it. No. And nice, I got it. This is a cool little thing here. Just look at this. They just put a little face here. He's smiling. That's why I love this game. I just love like the little things like that. That really adds so much to it. I've got a challenge for you. Play this game yourself, if you have the means. And try and beat it without using any continues. Basically, when you run out of lives, you have continues. Do you have infinite? I can't remember. I've not had to continue in a very long time. But I challenge you to get this game and beat it without using continues. So this is a boss which you don't see in speedruns. they just don't fight it because they don't need to. Like, all the cages are prior to it. And the last level being unlocked is actually based on cages, not having beaten the bosses. The bosses are just sort of there, funnily enough. Functionally, the bosses serve no purpose, and if you could skip them... Wow, this lag is bad. Do apologize. And functionally, if you could skip them, they are not necessary to beat the game. Now, you can actually skip all the bosses. I think it's only this boss you can actually skip. Take that. I'm softening him up for in a minute. This isn't the actual boss fight. This is just platforming with the boss chasing you down, which happens a couple of times in the game. But you can soften him up for the actual boss fight, which is pretty easy on the whole. But yeah, functionally the bosses... I'm going to finally finish my damn thought. Functionally, you can actually skip the bosses, in theory. This guy just stands here till you do something. So if you could skip the bosses, they would not be necessary for beating the game. Now, of course, you can't skip all the bosses, so they are required for beating the game, but not functionally. Like, the game isn't coded that way. So in theory, if you could cheat your way to skipping bosses, then you could actually just dodge the boss fights and still complete the game. I don't know why I'm making that distinction. I just think it's really interesting. Like, I watched the speedrun, and again, I just learned a lot. Like, it's just cool. I know I'm giving some tips, despite the fact that there's probably, like, literally one person who will ever watch this video. Whoops. And actually, like, need the tips. But I'm going to say them anyway, because that's, like, damn, I messed that up. In my nature, it's in my nature to do so. Does he walk? No. Ooh, okay. If you struggle with this boss, get the run power up first. You do not need the run power. You don't need to beat this boss before you get the run power up. Because a lot of people will get hit on the... There we go. Damn, I didn't see him. There we go. A lot of people get hit on the jumps because they do seem kind of random and you don't get an awful lot of time to react to them. God. I'm not going to talk now, I'm going to focus. So I'm down to one hit. You see how cool this boss is, though? Despite how simplistic the game is on the whole, not relative to its time, but, like, by today's standards, it's very simplistic. It's still such a cool boss, it's so interactive, and there's so much, like, they've done with it. God. Shh. Come on. Got him! Oh, man. That was close. Oh, dear. I wonder why they're just suddenly friends after that.